big kick to being home. But you know what? Maybe this can help somebody else not make this mistake. So, yeah.
I think Charlie put it really well, didn't he? Like, someone else was like, what do you feel about being back and not travelling? Or not on holiday anymore? I was like, well, really, we still are.
We are the Elmo family. We watched other people explore the world and have adventures, and we knew that that's what we wanted to do too. So we did. Here's our story. Subscribe for inspiration and escapism.
We are back in the UK. We just got to a point where we're feeling a bit homesick. It was so hot that we just weren't able to spend much time outdoors, which is kind of our thing. And then when you get to August, like, everything is triple the price. Accommodation, food, everything's crowded. And it was either a case of buying a car so we could escape to the middle of nowhere, or coming home for about a month just to kind of catch up with friends and family. And we came home, and true to form, it is pouring with rain, and it's cold and wet, and we're in Wales, which is where we had our outdoor centre.
So what is that one and that one?
This bit here, that's the garage. So that bit there is our house. We used to live in there, and then the bit next to it, that like grey bit, is our office. And this is where we used to have our chickens. Yeah, sure they won't mind.
How do you feel?
Yeah, like I don't miss it. Remembered how hard it was, but it's really interesting to see it, and it's nice to be back, and it is a beautiful area. So yeah, interesting.
Got this morning about 6 o'clock, and I was just in a very, very good mood. Don't know why. Just really pleased to be back. We were very lucky. Our plane was a nightmare, to be honest. The airport was awful, but we got picked up by a friend who drove all the way across the country, all the way from Wales to Gatwick, which is about the whole country, and then all the way back. We got back in at midnight. Going to see lots of people, and it feels really good. I think that's one of the best things about travelling. I know that in about a few days I'm going to be missing it. I'm already rose tinting lots of the parts of it and everything. But at the moment I'm just really appreciative of all the things that we have here in the UK. Just gone and done some shopping. Because the kids are dairy free and Kerry's celiac, we can actually buy them food. On the whole, pretty happy. And I think we'll probably start travelling again in about a month, but for the moment I'm just going to enjoy the English summer.
Kind of hard, like processing it all, and like what you're even supposed to think when you haven't been to your house for so long and you've had other people staying there. I don't know what made me do it, but I just kind of walked in and picked up the post, and before I'd even really looked around the house, I started opening some letters, and it quickly became clear to me that our car had not been moved over to the new owner's names. And I don't know if you want to hear more about our car story. There was a bit of a story behind it when we sold it, and that's just up here. I'll put a link to it so this makes a bit more sense for you. But basically there's been loads of fines and tax and lots of different things that amounts to a lot of money, and it's making me think like what else has happened and what, like, you start to think the worst, and start thinking, what if the car was involved in something else? And yeah, I'm really hoping it's still an honest mistake, but I also think that that's what got me into this problem in the first place. I trusted somebody and trusted it was going to be sorted, and also I was very silly and didn't register it myself. I just didn't know. I had a lot on my mind of going away, and I just thought, okay, car sold, tick, done that. And yeah, now I've got home, and before I'd even looked around, I was already looking at all this post and all these fines, and I mean, it's late now and I still haven't unpacked anything or really been into any of the rooms, and I guess it's just, I just talked to a friend about it and talking about how it's a learning lesson, like a lesson into, I guess I just never do this sort of thing again. And maybe if there's anyone else that's watching our videos and is thinking about selling things before they go away, just make sure you have ticked all those boxes, because it can be terrifying when you get back. Or maybe if you've got someone trustworthy to sort your post out for you or something, maybe that was something we should have done. But hindsight's a wonderful thing, and at the moment I'm busy writing letters to the DVLA and filing for different toll charges and things. So yeah, that's where we're at. Good morning. So just slept on everything I talked to you about last night, and it actually doesn't seem quite so bad this morning. I think being tired and overwhelmed by coming home actually probably worse than the situation yesterday, and I'm doing everything I can about getting that sorted. So I guess no point in worrying about it, because it's going to be what it will be. Yeah, I did actually check in with Nick yesterday and see how he feels about being home. So how are you feeling?
It has been really nice seeing like all our friends and family and kind of touching base with everyone. But I think the big realization was that, yeah, we're definitely happier when we're traveling. I think it's easy to, when you're traveling, you know, and you're wondering where you're going to stay next, and you haven't got a washing machine or, you know, a spare room, or, you know, especially
children are being sick.
Yeah. Especially for me, like working and stuff, making sure we got internet and things. You think, oh God, if we were just home, it'd be easier. But I think coming home, we just realised like how much like happier we've been travelling, and how much like looking back on the last few months, like how many memories we've created. Whereas like coming back here just made us realise how quickly like 4 or 5 years went. It was almost 6 years now, isn't it? You know, and how the days just merge into one. Travelling does have its challenges and its, you know, ups and downs, but it's so worth it. So worth it. And even now, it's like, well, you know, where are we going to go next? Like, how are we going to do it? Like, and you know, the temptation is always just to go, oh, we'll just stay here. You know, we'll just stay here, and you know, because it's easier. And that's, you know, that's when we speak to people about like doing this as well. You know, it's often the way they really want, you know, to change their life, but there's little stresses, you know, stop them, and they just stay in a comfort zone.
Well, people often refer to what we're doing as, oh, you're so brave, and I guess there is an element of that, like being able to do the things that you actually want to do and to pursue the life that you want to have. It's definitely not been perfect being away, but it's definitely been an adventure. And like now, even the hard times, like as you reflect back on it, the hard times, they were all lessons, and we've learned so much.
Yeah, I think we're realising that just being away for the sake of being away isn't necessarily freedom. Like having the freedom to come and go as we please, to come back and see friends and family, and really realising how important that is to kind of stay connected with everyone. Like, I think that's the right choice coming back. You know, obviously we've had to sort out a few frustrating admin things, which is...
It's really just us though, isn't it? I guess that's one of the really great things about us living in the moment and doing things, is that you don't think about these things day to day, and then suddenly that kind of carefree way does catch up with you.
Yeah.
So that's what we need to be better at.
Yeah. Come back to the problems we've dealt with them. And then, yeah, onwards and upwards.
We will see you next week, and I literally have no idea what next week's content's going to be. So check in, and you'll be finding out pretty much as early as us. Bye bye.